I'm surprised Darius didn't say anything.
You know.
Right.
What's up, everybody? We are live and living. You know
We
what I'm saying?
live and living.
Just in case you didn't know, live and live is spelled the same.
That's right.
That's all I
Darius.
want to put out there.
That's correct.
Appreciate that, Darius J.
Fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the show, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we do. We do a little warm up, stretch the vocal cords and the mouth muscles, so we can get on here and talk that talk. We got a guest for y'all that is in these streets, heavy on the house side of the game. You know what I'm saying? So you know what it is. Y'all know how we get down. We
Chris in the building.
What's up, Chris Maxwell?
Hey, Chris and Ashley.
Yeah.
That's my peoples right there.
That's right. Friends of the program.
Pulling through, man. Pulling through.
So yeah, so speaking of friends, speaking of people, our people, and where we be when we be with them. Yesterday was a pretty significant day. It was the 20-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because it is an event that has definitely shaped our history from that point. But where were you guys when it happened? Like, I think we're like, we're old enough to have been a significant place. You know what I'm saying? Like when it happened. Well, not you, Mel, but you were probably in a sandbox playing with your toys.
I wasn't,
but
actually,
the rest of us,
wow,
our business.
I don't like how y'all throw me under the bus like that.
I'll just say,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, Chris.
I wasn't even in middle school either.
Nah, Chris said he was in middle school.
Oh, he was in middle school. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
But yes, we can kind of laugh about it.
Hey, y'all go first, man.
Okay.
This now.
Okay.
I'll start.
Oh, I'll just start off.
Go ahead. Go ahead then.
No.
Guess first, Shorty.
No. Marie Ange, you have the mic.
Oh, I was in high school. I think I was in geometry at the time when 9/11 occurred. So I was in Jonesboro High School.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Outside.
All right. Yeah, I was actually in 5th grade. Okay. I'm not going to say the name of school because nobody on here is going to know what the school is or where it is at. But I was in, I think, science or social studies, and actually it was one of the teachers who I think family members worked in the building, and she was just like pretty much like hysterical. Like she kind of came and interrupted our class and like, everybody turn the news, like the Twin Towers has been hit. And so we literally just stopped class and we were just watching it, watching everything happen, like the towers falling, like everything. It was an emotional day. So
like, were you watching it on the TV with the little strap on it? And
no, it was actually a box TV, but it was actually holstered up on the wall.
Oh man, y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all got your own TV? Like you didn't have to wheel one in like everybody else?
Nope.
Yeah, I remember that too. We got our own TV.
It was but it was definitely a box TV. It's definitely a box TV.
They treat y'all good in the country. They didn't let us know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
They didn't give us much. They ain't give us
but
much.
We were thankful for the things they did give us.
I'm trying to tell you. They ain't give you much on the side of the education side of the game, but
nope.
Anything else, they gave you.
Right.
Man, we had a whole school. We had like 12 TVs for a whole school for everybody at the school. Basically.
I don't know. I believe somebody just gifted us TV.
The only TV that was rolled in was like in middle school when we did sex education, and
oh man,
it was rough.
Forget sex education.
Those videos that they just show you, it's just like scare tactics, but people still got pregnant, so it was like how
it ain't nothing to do in the country. Ain't nothing to do in the country but hunch during the summer. You knew summertime. After summertime, somebody coming back pregnant. Somebody. Sometime always yielded fall results. for most of the time it was the real
Darius,
cute girl.
Stop, man.
She was fast. She was fast.
Lord.
Like the old people say, she's fast.
Well, I mean, I can't even say it's that different out here in the suburbs, but
nah, see, y'all have one or two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're not having like a whole like class of people.
Yeah, we have about 5, 6 roll around in there. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Anyways,
that's what happens when you have your own TV. But anyway, so where I was a freshman at Georgia State University. I was 19.
Dang.
Okay. Yes, I was a fully sentient grown man. Going to class. And the thing was, when the first attacks happened, I was listening on the radio. I was listening to the Ryan Cameron Morning Show on V103. Yes, dating myself even further. I know. But yes, Ryan Cameron used to be in V103. But yeah, man. So news broke. The plane hit the tower. But the thing is, I didn't have the visual. So I was just like, all right, that's strange. But okay. So I get out of my car, walking to class. Right as I get out of my car, before I turn the radio off, a second plane has hit the other tower. And I'm just like, what are the chances? But still, I don't have the visual. So I'm walking to class. People are talking about it, but they're not really like frantic about it.
Yeah.
So then I get to English class. And we're talking about it like, all right, okay, this has some big implications. This could be some, the World Trade Center's been attacked before in 94. So, just 7 years later, it's happening again.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about it. But then the news breaks. Somebody like goes class to class and they tell us a third plane has hit the Pentagon.
Yeah.
People lose their minds. People are losing their minds because everybody's thinking of Fort McPherson. They're thinking of any base near here, like, oh my God, Atlanta could get hit. So that's when we started evacuating the campus, which was a mess. I basically had to wait about an hour or two before I could finally leave.
Wow.
And then made my way down 20 East home, and that's when I got home at like 4 o'clock. And I think by then there was footage. And that's when it hit home. When the towers had just collapsed like a few hours earlier. So that's when it really hit home. When people are running out of the building and the towers collapsing. So
yeah.
So that's where I was, just at school, in college, and then watching it on TV.
Well,
yeah. I'm so ready for this.
I hadn't moved to Atlanta yet to go to school. I was in technical school at the time. I was hanging out with one of my homeboys. His name started with an R. We was at the Buddha house getting some chicken wings, man. You know what I'm saying? And moving some things around.
Really? Okay, continue. We're in.
You know what I'm saying? We're moving things around. We're doing business. You know what I'm saying? We weren't there for what you would think, but we really was there for them wings. You know what I'm saying? And we seen that, anyway, got a little TV off of them in the corner. You know what I'm saying? It was a little rundown, little house. You know what I'm saying? It was it wasn't that in the street, man. It wasn't no Magic City. You know what I'm saying? It just was something in the country. And I seen it on TV. I said, dang, man, that pilot up there drunk flying twice.
Oh.
That's what I said.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that wasn't one of my best moments, but you know what I'm saying? That's from eyeshot. That's what I saw.
Transparency, brother. Transparency.
To your credit, though, I never thought terrorist until George Bush said something. I assumed it was some white guy who had been laid off of corporate America and wanted to cripple the
No,
economy.
oh my God.
Yeah, me too.
Like, at the World Trade Center. That was what was in my mind. Like, you know, I don't know, some shoe bomber guy or something.
Exactly.
A drunk pilot. Oh my God.
I ain't find out it was a terrorist attack to the Pentagon got hit. And I was just like, dang. And then I like, dang, man, who let Osama bin Laden drive a plane? Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Well, apparently a lot
I told
of people,
you, hey, I was young and I said everything that came to my mind. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it is what it is. You know, it was a whole lot worse. I cleaned up this story pretty good.
I'm grateful
a whole
because
bunch, but you
the
know,
Booty House is definitely a very surface title.
You know, it's a who title?
Like a surface. It's not like deep.
Oh yeah, it's a very surface.
Yeah, because that didn't paint the picture at all.
It didn't.
Thank you for leaving out all the other details.
All the details.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep us family oriented.
And as we remember, there was a fourth plane that was, you know, the souls on board were able to overtake the people, and it did not make it to a whatever destination they were going to crash it into. But,
exactly. It was some real ones on that plane.
Yeah, United 93 or I think that's
yeah.
It was a movie about it. But yeah, man. So it's just interesting, you know, people of different ages, where they were at. Mello was.
I was 18, by the way.
I don't know how old I was.
Yeah, I was 18.
What, like 10, 11? I don't know.
I was not. I was 19.
Yeah, because I turned 18 July 31st of that year. So yeah, I was 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was
pretty
mixed
good.
Bag of warm up.
Bag of everybody.
You know,
seemed like everybody else was doing pretty good with life at that time. I was the only one doing weirdo stuff.
Eating wings at a particular house.
Yeah.
They say they have the best wings.
Hey man, let me tell you something about them houses. They have some of the best food that you ever eat in Atlanta or anywhere else. Them were the best chefs work at.
I wouldn't know though.
Yeah, I don't know no more. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I've been Holy Ghost fire baptized. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? Walking with Jesus Cristo. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been near one of them places. You know what I'm saying?
Hallelujah, and we thank Him.
Plus, when you're married, you don't need that.
You don't need it.
Marie Ange is just like Marie Ange Charlestin, realtor.
Hey, all right, man. I'm done.
This is my brand, Darius. That's what that's.
I'm gonna be nice here.
It's okay. I'm just a fly on the wall, so it's all good. I'm enjoying it. I'm being entertained.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. Just absorb it. That's the spirit, Chris.
Right.
That's the conversation spirit.
My mama get on. I ain't gonna cut up too much because my mama don't know a lot about me because I
just go ahead and send her a DM.
Time to time, then I come on and I come back to life. I come out the gutters and then I be like, everybody like, oh, he's such a sweet boy. And then I disappear back into the dark, and she don't know that. But
man,
I'm so done.
But yes, now that we're all warmed up, we're gonna give y'all the intro, and we're gonna see you at the other side of the bump.
That's cool. I'm about to say,
I was like, okay.
We got that. No, we had got El Fancy. That's Spanish for fancy.
But all right, here's the real one.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Darius J.
And I'm Stevie Neal.
And it's your girl, Mela G.
With special guests,
Marie Ange Charlestin.
And this is
Convrs8.
Let's talk about it.
We in here officially.
Whoop whoop.
You know
Another
what I'm saying?
happy landing.
Gave y'all a little stretch. We found out that Mela used to moonlight at a house, you know what I'm saying, during 9/11 when she was a child. If y'all missed that, yeah, it was a wild story, man.
You missed that. That's completely untrue, but
I wish you guys could see my face right now. For those listening, audio only.
Yeah, I hope they put that on there. That was a very riveting tale. Mela made it through a lot.
In 5th grade.
Yeah.
In 5th grade.
In 5th grade.
They grow up fast in the country down there in Jessup.
But so yes, 9/11 was 20 years ago. We went over that. But how are we living today, guys? Like, how are we living lately? And we will get into it with our special guest first. How you living, Marie Ange?
Living great. Yeah. Working hard and just trying to build generational wealth. So yeah, I'm living good.
Good. Yeah.
That's good. Right. That's good. How you living, Mela G?
I'm living pretty well as well. I just started giving piano lessons yesterday. Was my first day. I have 5 students. The youngest is 6 years old. And it's it kind of gave me life again, you know, because since I've been here, I haven't really been playing the piano like I used to consistently in Atlanta. So it's pretty cool that I'm able to be in this position to give back to the community up here in this way. And I'm just grateful that I stuck with piano lessons because it's paying off years later. Now that I can give that, you know, to another individual who's young and ready to absorb. And I love all my students. They have a hunger to learn, especially the 6-year-old. She was so cute, and just at that age to want and desire something that requires a lot of patience and requires a lot of like practice and also like interest in wanting to do it. Because, you know, sometimes parents put their kids in stuff that they want them to be in, not per se the kid actually likes it. So I'm actually glad that I do have students that actually want to learn how to play the piano, so it makes it a lot easier. But other than that, I've been working on a few things as well. I was able to connect with one of my my college friends. He has a business out there in Atlanta, and we were able to kind of connect through LinkedIn, and we have a few projects cooking. Hopefully this partnership can definitely grow into something more as I plan to make my way back to Georgia at some point in my life. But, you know, that's another conversation for another day. But I do have some things cooking in the background, and I'm excited to, you know, launch those as, you know, when the time comes. So I'm just working silent like the G in lasagna, and we go keep it pushing.
All right. So Mela gets busier and richer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? All I want for Christmas is a motorcycle.
Well, see, this is for me. Like I'm in 2 different weddings coming up, and I'm also attending a wedding that I'm also playing the piano in. So,
what are you doing 3 weddings then?
Well, I'm not technically in it because, I'm the maid of honor in one, I'm a bridesmaid in another, and my finances is just. So the extra piano job is definitely coming in the clutch.
So how does someone be in a wedding and play the piano? You're just gonna wear a fancy dress. You're gonna stand up there with them.
Well, I mean, the one that I play the piano for, I'm not like a bridesmaid or anything. They just kind of asked me to play some worship music during their ceremony.
Okay.
But like the other ones, like I'm just a bridesmaid or maid of honor, respectively. But they're back to back. Like one wedding is in December, and the next one is in March. So.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being in weddings. Let me tell you that one thing that I'm glad people don't ask me to do no.
That is like a kingdom pastime.
I just be like, yo, man, all my homeboys don't got married. Except for one. I got one more that now I got some people that if they do re-weddings and they ask, I do it. You know what I'm saying? because I believe in the power of love. But I got one more homeboy that's out there in Augusta, Georgia.
Okay.
That I would be in his wedding. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably cry at his wedding for real. But yeah, I ain't outside of that. I ain't doing no wedding. Don't ask me nobody.
I've been to London to be in a wedding. I've been to Boston to be in a wedding.
Yeah. They're so expensive, man.
The grind is real, man.
It's like at this point, I just want a courthouse wedding and call it a day, man.
That's what I did.
Totally. I wanted one.
I don't regret it.
Just have a reception. Just have a reception. Everybody just come party with me, man.
Exactly.
We had ours in Merrimack's. We just went. We got married at Piedmont Park, and then we got ate at Merrimack's.
See, man, I did not. If I could have had it my way, man, courthouse all the way. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people.
Well, y'all pulled it off. Y'all pulled off the caper.
Yeah, we did, but I still just think about that money. I was like, man,
what you about to say, Marie Ange?
I say a lot of people who got married and paid a lot of money for the wedding and everything like that. They're like, in retrospect, the courthouse would have been it for me. But for me, I'm like, I want that wedding. I waited this long. Okay, like,
we'll see. That's the combat. Like that's the conversation I have with myself a lot. It's like, do I just want to? I mean, being a part of a wedding and from a bridesmaid or maid of honor perspective, it's like that's just like chump change in regards to like what they're actually paying for the entire wedding. But then I'm just like, if I am going to invest in a wedding, I'm just making sure that I'm not like, I want to make sure that majority of my money is going to what I want to enjoy the most. So like that's the reception and my honeymoon. So the ceremony I want to have, but it may be like small and intimate, and that's okay with me.
Yeah.
See, but you two are creative people that know how to.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
You know what I mean? So I've seen people who are creative and know how to put events together that actually run their own weddings. I've seen brides run their own weddings, and not like in a Bridezilla kind of way, but really like, you know what I'm saying, efficiently. I mean, they look like they're just.
Yeah,
it looks crazy, but it works.
Yeah,
but you have to kind of have that heart for the details, because not everybody does. Not everybody really knows the details. But you two, I could see, like y'all would know the details. Like y'all would be the bride, like instructor.
To an extent, I don't know. I want to enjoy myself.
Because I be telling people like, hey man, I would not suggest anybody run their wedding by themselves, because I just let me tell you. So that's if we paying money that I'm paying for too. I pay for peace of mind. I tell people all the time. That's why I will fly first class. I will fly Delta. I don't care how much it costs, long as my head don't hurt by the end of the trip. Right. I don't care. I'm paying for peace of mind.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But yes, so
how you live, Stephen Neal?
Yep. So lately, we took a little trip. Me, my wife, two other couples took a trip to Alaska. To just kind of take in the sights, see some whales, have some good seafood. Man, there's a lot of seafood in Juneau. Seafood everywhere. Halibut everywhere. Cod everywhere. Salmon everywhere. My goodness. It's me and Mella's dream.
Dang. I just need a partner.
That's my dream too.
Maybe you can take another trip.
You can go by yourself.
Yeah, you throw seafood in your macaroni and stuff. Yeah,
I'm just talking about so I can experience what y'all experience. It's all married.
Oh man, hey, you can go by yourself and experience.
I know. I can go by myself. That's not what I'm saying is I just want to experience with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to go with us?
Yes.
Oh man, because let me tell you something. We get wild.
I'm sure, because the conversations we have offline with just you and Siobhan alone is enough for me.
Hey, I turn it out. If y'all travel with me, you're gonna have fun. I'll tell you that.
But yeah, so we were out there in Juneau seeing the sights. Because my guy Russ, he wanted to see the whales for his 40th because it's coming up. So that was part of the reason we took the trip. So we went out there. It was raining. It was, not too hard, but it was enough. It made you feel like you were on National Geographic or something.
Wow.
But we saw like 4 whales. It was pretty cool. We saw a glacier as well, like a glacier that had like moved over time, so there's like all this vegetation and stuff that has grown since it has moved. It's like all that nature stuff, but then good restaurants too. And at our Airbnb, the manager's husband actually was just like, he's making conversation, being friendly and whatnot. And then he was like, you know what? I'm going fishing tomorrow. Let me catch y'all salmon. And we were just like, come on, man, you're not going to catch us salmon. You're saying that. You're just saying that. So that night, he produces a salmon. And when I tell you a salmon out there in Alaska is a salmon, like it's basically 2 of those little aqua stars at Kroger, like just stacked together. Okay. Yeah. And longer. Yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, yo. Hey, man, can you give me that information today?
I'm telling you. And the thing is, the taste though is different because it's fresh out the water. It's not like, you have hours of transport and time passing and stuff like that. So, and I tell you, when he filleted it too, so he cut it in half. All we had to do was debone it. So we had salmon croquettes for one meal, and then filet with salad for another meal. 6 of us now, so that's 12 whole meals off one fish.
Yeah,
listen,
salmon big, man.
Salmons are huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just run that number and link for the.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Talk to Jasmine Brown. Just talk to the Browns. Like they did a lot of the legwork. And the Pruitts went with us as well. So they're traveling folk as well. Yeah, man, and definitely was the second furthest I've ever flown. It was 3,000 miles one way. Only London was further. That was like 4,000 miles, but yeah, it was right in time for our anniversary. It was our 9th anniversary.
Yeah.
Our 9th anniversary. So 9 years married.
Mm-hmm. Congrats.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, man.
And it was 11 years together. We got married on our 2-year dating anniversary. So that's how I remember our dating anniversary, because we got married on it. So 11 years in our lives. It's kind of
beautiful,
great.
Beautiful.
So that's how I've been living. And how have you been living, Darius J?
Muy bien. I've been living good, man. Been chilling. Went to the Dominican Republic we got back Saturday. No, we got back Friday night. Little anniversary trip down there, spent 7 days. Just sitting poolside, eating food, going to sleep, not worrying about having to cook my own food and make my own bed or clean or anything. That's what I go on vacation for. I go on vacation to chill. I don't really have to see too many new things on vacation. A lot of people go on vacation and like to do stuff. I'm very laid back now. I used to be one of them people who want to do stuff, but not no more. You know what I'm saying? My wife taught me the art of laying down and not coming back off vacation tired. You know what I'm saying? Right. A lot of people go on vacation and come back from vacation tired. I ain't doing that. I come back from vacation very well rested. Had a good time though, man. You know what I'm saying? I like taking vacations. Like, I go with people, but then I also have time. Vacation with just me and my wife, because most of the time we just sit around, talk about the future, try to plan for the next phases and all that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be real good. A lot of time to just really get in tune with each other and stuff like that. Outside of that, you know what I'm saying? Me and Steve was talking earlier, you know what I'm saying? Going back, the mafia trips be serious, bro. Like, hey, we got to get another one, Chris, for real, man. The mafia got to get back together out here and sell these drugs. But yeah, man, like, just going back in the 75 hard, took a month off, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of like revamp, reset, you know what I'm saying. But then we was gonna go into phase one, but then we was like, man, let's just run that 75 hard back one more time, and then just go through the whole program, the whole Live Hard program, you know what I'm saying, going through phase 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, just do it better. Just trying to get better, learn more about money, read more, you know what I'm saying. It's all kind of stuff. Trying to go ahead and buy a house next year and all kind of stuff, man. Just trying to do it big. You know what I'm saying? I want a big old pretty house too. Cause I ain't moving. I ain't buying that another house. I ain't like other people. I ain't got to have 1,000 houses, or I got to move from house to house. I want to buy a house big enough to facilitate my life for the next 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? I don't need all be moving and upgrading and all that stuff. The house will be fully whatever it need to be for whoever it need to be. Me, wife, have some chillings or whatever. But yeah, man, just been living good, man. Trying to focus, man. Trying to figure out, trying to get through school, because school been I've been all right, man. I've been coasting this semester. This semester been kind of straight. You know what I'm saying? Ahead. You know what I'm saying? It that accelerated semester killed me. I almost died in the summertime. But this semester is easier. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kind of, because it stretched out over the weeks. So I just like been able to get ahead and do things in an orderly fashion. Finna get ready to take 2-3 certification tests. Hopefully I'll be out of the truck by the end of the year, go back into the IT field, all that stuff like that. Yeah, man. Switch up and yeah, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? Just switch it up, go back into that side of the game. Learn about investings and hustlings and all that stuff like that. I really pretty much got to know what hustle I want to do, but you know what I'm saying? Just trying to make my money work outside of me working. You know what I'm saying? Just have my money do the work while I'm asleep. You know what I'm saying? Make the ooh-wop with the whoop-wop. And yeah, that's it. That's how it is.
Well, that sounds exciting. It's crazy how, a shift in, from the truck, like you said, to tech is probably going to facilitate a lot of that other stuff. Like your schedule is going to be completely different. So
yeah, whole lot different. I'll be able to wake up at a regular person's time again.
Oh my goodness!
Instead of waking up at 2, I work up at 5.
I won't know what to do with you, like being awake after 7 o'clock during the week.
Hey man, you feel me? I'm looking forward to that. Y'all don't even know, boy. I had to go to sleep at 7. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sheesh, man.
I had to stay up at 10 o'clock. I might cry. I won't even stay up past 10 o'clock on weekends. That's crazy part. Like I tell you, my circadian rhythm is pretty much set. If I stay up late on a Saturday, I hung out with friends and I'm paying for it the next day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it'd be different. I love the people that I hang out with on the weekends, but it'd be hard because the next day my body be like, bro, what did you do to us?
Come on, man.
For real.
So we're gonna get into the topics, and we kind of spoke it up earlier when we were talking about weddings and such. So we can get into this. This popped up on our radar pretty recently. So there was a couple in Chicago that got married and sent out a bunch of invitations. People RSVP'd and did the usual thing. But some people apparently RSVP'd but did not show up. So the couple put a post out. We don't know if it's an actual bill. Like, we're just going to say that. But they put a post out that basically itemized anything that anybody missed if they RSVP'd and did not show up, and came up with a total to bill them. A couple $100 and some change. Okay. So which begs the question: would you make RSVP no-shows? Would you make them pay up? Like, contribute to the wedding. Again, Marie Ange, Mela, you guys are well versed in events. You guys work events. You guys have produced events. Like, I want to hear from y'all first. I really do.
I just think it comes with the territory, right?
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it comes with the territory. I mean, oftentimes when you're planning, you got to consider people might not show up. Things happen. People get sick. And so, I mean, I think you just, chuck it to the game and just say, it is what it is. But then if you have another extravagant event, you got to reconsider whether you're going to invite those people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would not build them because I'm like, it was my special day. It is what it is. Just for next time, if I have another celebration, they might not be first on my list.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what Marie Ange said, but I think being a part of this process for this wedding, even though I'm not the one getting married, it's a lot of money that's being, like, the amount of money they're paying for like food. It's just like that could have been money that I could have saved and put in my budget and put towards something else, like my honeymoon or whatever the case may be. So I think from that lens, I'm like, I could have been able to save money, because now this person that, show up, but then also too, like, I think just being not just I don't really plan events, but I'm in the film industry and nothing ever goes as planned. It's something always breaks or something, messes up. You have to pay more money. The budget increases. So it's like, I think because I'm, like, I've experienced things like that, I don't think that I would kind of take it to heart too much, because at the end of the day, I'm going to enjoy myself regardless of who comes or not, and whoever came was supposed to be there. So that's kind of how I see it. But I can just kind of see the other side too, of where, like, I put all this money in, I budgeted carefully, I picked the people that I thought that were going to come and celebrate me, but then things happen, right? Something happens in that person's life, whether it's family related or, themselves, or they just couldn't make it. Travel, you see COVID is a factor, now too. So, I just think that it's just being understanding and still trying to enjoy myself, because things happen, life happens, we can't control what happens day to day, in that respect. So I don't know. I see both sides. Like, okay, yeah, I could have been able to take that $190 that I paid per plate and put it to a honeymoon. But regardless, it's paid for. People are there, they're enjoying it. So it's why worry about something that, I mean, it's minor in regards to what's being celebrated. I think that's my opinion.
Yeah. In comparison to the occasion, sure. I have some thoughts. I have some notes. So people that I invite to a wedding, just in my estimation, are close friends. Okay. I don't invite like my mama's friends to like when we were doing the wedding, like when we were planning the wedding before we just kind of gave up and went to court and found out, it was good for us. We were just like, hey, our parents' friends, unless they are our friends, they're not going to be there. They're just not. I just don't, I'm just So if somebody accepts the RSVP, it's different if you say no. Okay, if you say no thanks, I wish you well, I can't travel, I can't make it, I have another occasion, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to take it personally.
Yeah.
But some people, I think, feel like if you're the close friend, to say no would hurt your feelings. So then they just let it linger. You know what I mean? They just let it linger all the way to the day. They answer your statuses. Oh yeah. This wedding's coming. Hey.
The people.
All up in your face. And then the day of, they don't show up. And then they're like, oh, well, yeah, COVID and everything, and it's just like, No. Okay, so that's the thing. That to me, that's like a personal friend not coming to something that they said, in all intents and purposes, they would come to. So that's where it rubs me the wrong way personally. So then maybe I would be prone to be petty and like just at least let them know the cost. I don't know if I would build them per se, because how could you really? But to let them know, like, yeah, you cost me $300, and you won't be invited to the next thing. Like, no.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
Sorry, maybe that's petty. I don't know, but that's just
that's a little petty, Steve. It's not a little, it's a lot. But I'll say this. You know what I'm saying? Me, when it came down to planning our weddings, I had way more people come than I did, because I was just like, I don't care if we ain't talked. My thing was like this. All right, if we ain't talked in the last 3 years, you ain't invited. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people like, invite this person. Come on, mom, she was like, invite this person, invite that person, invite that person. And I was just like, I don't talk to them people. They don't talk to me. What am I inviting them for?
Exactly.
Well, that's your cousin.
Getting free food.
I ain't talked to them in 10 years.
And they will see the pictures on Facebook.
Exactly. Because I was just like, man, I ain't wasting no money on no people that don't care. I'll probably get there and complain the first thing that they taste it ain't till they like it.
Oh no!
Oh no! You know
I'm saying that. No, let me jump in there.
I ain't had that problem. Go ahead.
Let me jump in there right quick. I'm not going to fix my mouth to complain about wedding food, because that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. We're here to celebrate people. We're here to have a good time. We're here to support one another. So to actually fix your mouth to complain to the bride and groom about food, it's a bad move. That's not cool.
So I ain't, like I said, I ain't had them problems. You feel me? Like, I wouldn't build nobody per se. I'd be kind of like what Marie Ange and Mella said. It come with the territory. I mean, and some people, like, everybody I invited came because I knew they'll come. I knew there was 100. They were solid. They were solid with me, straight up and down. Now some people my wife invited, they ain't come. You know what I'm saying? I don't hold no grudge against them people, because get what? I don't know you and probably would never meet you. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't upset. So I wouldn't build the people, you know what I'm saying? But that one thing you had to really took what I didn't like at my wedding, I'm gonna just let something out.
Okay.
And man, people that I didn't invite that was in the kingdom just decided to show up. You understand? I almost jumped on you that day. I just want y'all to know that. Well, you know who he is. I almost jumped on you. You know what I'm saying? Because if I didn't invite you, you showed up, we almost got to fight. But my wife calmed me down. She said, it's about days, baby. You don't be mad. Don't beat nobody up. I was just like, these people breaking the law of my wedding. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's safe to say that tradition of open weddings.
Yes, it's
gone. Mine went open.
It's dead. It's
gone.
Mine went open. Yeah. It was invite only, but people found out and showed up. I had it far away in the country.
You know what I'm saying? You had it in Eaton.
I had it in Eaton. I don't even know how them people found that place. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, God, these people really found this place.
Those single brothers found their way to that wedding food.
Wow.
I'm trying to tell you, I like, Jesus Christ.
That's crazy. I'm gonna have a bouncer at my wedding.
I had some, but they were some punk. I had some, but they kept coming back to me like, this person said, I said,
if they're not on the list,
don't let them in. Don't come back to me. You supposed to be the lioness or the lion at the gate. If they ain't hit that on the list, you don't supposed to let them in. Don't come back and talk to me about that again, do you?
Oh, they can wait outside in the line when we walk out.
That's right, because that's the problem that people had with me when I would be secure. They'd be like, man, this person ain't letting me in. They said you ain't on the list, don't let you in. You better call Tyrone, whoever you gonna call, because they ain't got nothing to do with me. You ain't on the list. partner. Right. If you want to square out, I'll scrub you up outside real good and make you feel real welcome out here in these streets. You know
I'm gonna let JR be my bouncer.
Oh, look, yep, because he's got the experience. He has the tools. He has the skills. He has a particular set of skills.
Yeah, he got a particular set of skills. You know what I'm saying? Plus, he's cool. He'll probably tell you nicely. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, look here. Look.
That's the only thing I tell people, man. Son. Make sure you at the gates of your wedding, everybody that ain't married to it, you got some solid people. Because if you got some weak, noodle back people at the security, they ain't gonna let everybody in. You're gonna start seeing all kinds of folks in there. You be like, dang, man, I ain't seen that person in high school. How they got here?
Nah, man. This is not campus spaghetti. This is a wedding. Okay. Come on, man. Yeah. Like, come on. Like, you didn't tell me that, Darius. I'm still shook up about that. That's crazy.
Hey, man, Chris, I'm telling you, that's one thing that will bother me. Let me tell you something. I was just like, look at all these people, and they bringing their children. We said no kids. They got kids. I was losing it. Like, I was just like, if it went for my wife, I would have been like, hold on, let me pause the pictures right quick. I'll be back.
No.
Right now, because obviously the security ain't doing their job. Why y'all talking to me? You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, no. But then my wife was just like, enjoy the time. Like, I can't, my head hurt. I want to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Then people aren't getting food and they're blaming you. Anyway, Marie Ange, we'll put your 2 cents in here. Like, what do you think about this situation?
I just think, one, make sure that the wedding that you pay for, you can afford, right? Stay within the budget. And if people don't show up, account for that as well. You understand what I mean? Because things are going to happen. And so basically don't cash don't cash your own a check that you, I'm sorry. Yeah. Don't cash a check. You can't, what is the saying, Mel?
I'm trying to think of it because I know what you're trying to say.
Oh man, it's been so long since we've written checks. We don't know.
I still write checks, okay?
Don't write a check you can't cash.
You can't cash. That's what I said.
Don't write a check, but can't cash.
There you go.
But can't cash.
Right. So being aware of that. I know, like, personally, like, I know where every penny is going. So it's kind of like when you have a extravagant wedding, or if that's what you choose to do, account for some people not coming because things happen. And I mean, I think, to be honest, it's tacky to charge to basically have the no-shows reimburse you. I think it's tacky, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
I agree.
Cool. I'd say just communicate. Like I say, just communicate if you're not coming, as well as if you are coming. Like, you know, if you can't come, if I have a destination wedding in like Fiji or Mexico or something, and you're just like, oh, I'm not going, but then you don't tell me, I mean, that's kind of your fault. Yeah. So, yes. So, other money moves, real estate stuff. Well, first, we're going to talk about a house, but not a real one, a fake one, a movie one. LeBron James, fresh off of reimagining Space Jam, is reimagining House Party. That's right. Yeah, I know. Let's talk about this a little bit. So, I mean, you guys saw Space Jam, or at least a lot of people did. Well, how do you think he's going to do on this with Routine Me?
Bad.
I think Rotimi is a versatile artist. He's a versatile actor. So it can, I mean, he's hilarious as well. So I think it might do well. But if LeBron is like financing it, then of course, for the movie to have his backing is a great thing. I don't know about him acting in it per se. But I mean, House Party is a legendary, like, film, right? And so I think we should leave these like remakes alone. Let's say, yeah. I mean, it has potential to do well based off of, you know, the artistic ability of Rotimi. But yeah, just leave it alone.
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts around this because I personally didn't like the new Space Jam, but it wasn't for me, right? It wasn't for my demographic. I don't feel like it was. I mean, there was moments like I think my favorite moment in there was when Porky Pig did the little rap at the end. That was pretty like funny to me. But everything out, the acting was, you know, I just think it was for kids. That I don't know. But anyways, so when I heard about this, I definitely concur with what Marie Ange said. Just leave the classics alone. But I was reading an article and basically, okay, so we all know like what the house party, you know, synopsis is. But then also there was a lot of people who played in that movie that now have really big careers. So that movie was the catapult to a lot of like major people like Martin Lawrence,
Bernie Mac.
Yeah.
One of the funniest table scenes of all time.
Exactly. So I think the reason for the remake is another attempt in highlighting new artists and actors and stuff like that. So I mean, because they were not saying that it was like a continuation of the house party, like it's not their sons or anything like that. Right. It's like a whole nother fresh idea, reimagined version of it, where it's more so highlighting new actors, new artists, people that are trying to like break out onto the scene, really. So it's for me, it's kind of like a marketing movie, if you will, and hopes that maybe this movie may catapult their careers and, you know, wherever they desire to go individually. But I'm like, storyline. What is the storyline? How is this really going to play off? Is this going to be like and next up to the stage, you know, it's like, is it going to be kind of like, let me just highlight this artist, highlight that artist? Like, how are they really going to tie all this together? And, you know, like if it's not going to be really related to the last house party. So I'm just kind of,
I feel you.
Right. Yeah. That's my worry.
I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Just like, I like when the movie do a proper mix of nostalgia, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be old, because like a lot of movies, sometimes people make remakes lately. They try to over nostalgia everything and try to stack, like they stacking comedy on top of comedy. They ain't letting the plot breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't expounding on anything. It's just a bunch of stuff happening. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But kind of like what you were saying, like how you gonna reimagine it into like today's time? Don't try to make it like it was back then. You know what I'm saying? Because a dialect's different. You know what I'm saying? The terms are different. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to really make it yours. You know what I'm saying? And just don't let LeBron act in it. He can appear, you know what I'm saying? But don't let him act in it. I don't mind him backing it, because you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's real money. You know what I'm saying? But just put people in places gonna do it right. You know what I'm saying? Because it can happen, but like, you know, Marie Ange said, like, hey man, stop redoing all these classes, man. How about go redo some of the bad movies? That's always been my pitch. It's a lot of sorry movies out here that be redid by somebody. Y'all keep picking the good ones. Don't redo the good ones. Go get the sorry one. Go get Chucky 5 or something like that and redo it.
Geely or something. Like something
Soul
like
Plane.
And like
Soul Plane, exactly. Redo Soul Plane.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like why not?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, y'all said everything I was gonna say.
Yeah,
no, seriously, like I'm just like, I'm tired of the stories the remakes that makes no sense, has no chronological order, and then it's like Darius was alluding to, it's like the plot is everywhere. It's like you don't know what story. It's like you have your main story and then you have a sub story. That's it. Okay, we have the main story. We know that that's going to get resolved towards the end of the movie. And then the B story is going to get resolved right before the end. So it's like, I don't want to feel like, okay, well, who's doing this over here? And okay, they closed up on this, you know, angle here. So that must be an important thing. But then they never use that tool that they zoomed in on. So what was the purpose of, but that's how I see films. And it's like, well, why did they choose this shot if they're not going to go back and reference it? Like, it was just a waste of film. It was just like you know what, guys, we need 2 more minutes of film, so we just go film this person just walking along the street, and this person has nothing to do with the film, but we just need to fill that space. So that's just my concern. It's just like, I don't like movies that they remake, especially classic ones like this. It's just like, I want to know. I would like to know the storyline, because even when they drop the trailer, whenever that is, sometimes I feel like trailers now, like they don't have a lot of context, so they try to get you excited for it, which
that's
is
not the trailer man's job. The trailer man's job is to get you excited.
It gets you excited, right? And then you're like, oh my god, this is gonna be a great movie. I got and then you get there, and it's like, it's still missing a lot of holes. Like, how did we get here? This is, I mean, we know movies aren't realistic, but it's just like, it's like you almost think like so you did this whole movie, you did not eat one time. Like, it's like, that's or at least have food on the table to say that you ate or something. Like come on, let's put some more realistic stuff in movies. Like, you're not gonna go 3 days without eating at least a biscuit.
I thought I was the only person that noticed it. I said, did you ever see them eat? So they just been on the run for 7 days.
Nothing. No water, nothing.
Day 3 off of just not doing the proper things to get nourishment.
But yeah, like you said, like with this nostalgia stuff, I think when you remake a house party, there's so many people to appease.
Yeah.
Whether it's the fans or people who made the original movie.
Right.
People who want to come back, and then we got to stick them in the movie. You know what I mean? And then it doesn't make sense to the plot.
No, at all.
The movie, and they're paying for the movie. So yeah, I feel like that does go. I agree that does go on to where you please so many people that you please no one.
Yep.
So, house party, good luck.
Good luck.
I guess, you know. Right. But our last house note, actual house. Actually, it's 100 acres. Young Thug has acquired 100 acres and is naming it Slime City. So 100 acres isn't exactly a whole town, but he's gonna do a lot with this land. It's got a lake. It's got some potential. He has not revealed the exact location of the property. I mean, that naturally would be a no-no.
Right.
People kind of just waiting for him to show up, I guess.
Just riding by.
Oh yeah, or riding by and you know, just trespassing. So as we're about to get into some real estate discussion. We'll start with our special guest, Marie Ange. Wow, like this is a whopper of a property. What are your thoughts on this? This what he could do with this?
I mean, he definitely could do a lot with it. I think I read he was gifted this acreage, and for it to be larger than Centennial Olympic Park, like he can definitely, have it for, I guess, entertainment purposes, or he could use it to, offer subsidized housing to those who are, having some challenges. So, I mean, I'm happy, that he's able to get this city, but I hope that he uses it to his advantage. And I hope that he's advised properly, like what to do with it so that it can make him a return, throughout the years, because land is here, you know what I mean? And for him to have, 100 acres of this land, that's a great thing for him. So, yeah.
I mean, you brought up a good point, because we typically think about somebody who's wealthy that comes into this kind of land. Well, this is a lot of land, but just like a big parcel of land. It's going to be a mansion. It's going to be kind of like, okay, they're going to do a bunch of things with it that are kind of personal, like kind of, put a theater in a bowling alley and, something like that instead of something. And those could make you real money if you're selling a mansion or something of that nature. But like you said, like really do something with the property, like subsidized property. That could be a real thing you could do and really see a real return as opposed to, okay, just building up your dream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even about the Black Wall Street, you know, like for us to have something like that, like a community of like-minded people within our, you know, the Black community. Let me just say that because I'm African American. To have something like that would be great for, you know, the younger generations to see and to aspire to own when they get older. So yeah, that's what I think.
He actually revealed his plans at the beginning of this month. He's just kind of waiting for the city to greenlight it. But his plans is to develop new homes, and then an off-road trail for dirt bikes and ATVs, a campus site, as well as a water park. So
yeah,
those are the things that he's planning to do. He's just kind of waiting for the city's approval. So I definitely feel like it's going to make a pretty major impact within the city.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Well, you know, I feel like it'll be a good thing to do, you know what I'm saying? Because if he planned on doing just like what, you know, Mello revealed, it'll be good because it'll give, you know what I'm saying, some kind of ownership because it ain't a lot of, it's not as much Black ownership inside of Atlanta with city sites and land and businesses operating on said land in this area.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he seems to be tapped into the community really well because him and a lot of his peers are always giving back to the city. You know what I'm saying? So I think he will do what's best, you know what I'm saying, for not just himself, but for others as well. He will bring some kind of revenue, you know what I'm saying, some kind of representation, you know what I'm saying, to the community, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and just to kind of cap things off, I'm just glad he has a management team around him that value these investments and bring these to his doorstep. You know, or something. You know, he's probably working with them, no doubt. But you know, just to have a team that kind of is kind of in lockstep and in agreement, like, okay, this is how you build wealth, and you know, and as opposed to maybe a way we think someone you know, traditionally builds wealth when they acquire property. So yeah, I think that's awesome that all those things are happening, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Slime City and see how it develops.
Yeah.
So speaking of real estate, of course, we have Marie Ange Charlestin,
Yes.
Realtor,
Yes.
Circle R,
Trademark.
trademark. Um, we have her in the conversation, so we're gonna ask a realtor, you know, just straight up, some questions. First of all, how did you get into real estate, Marie Ange?
Okay.
How did you get into this industry?
So my sister is actually a broker, and for years she has been encouraging me to get into real estate, but because of fear, not knowing, and you know, I had other ventures that I wanted to dive into. You know, I put it on pause. But in 2000, was it 2017? The latter part of 2017, 2018, I was in a toxic work environment, and I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take my sister's advice. And I started studying for the real estate exam. And, you know, one of the things that I really am passionate about is financial literacy and helping other people build generational wealth.
Yeah.
And so that's one of my whys as to why I became a realtor, because there's a lot of people who are part of our community who are not knowledgeable about home ownership. And so with my sister's encouragement and even my desire to service other people, I decided to get my license.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
So on the like en route to getting your real estate license, did you take any kind of class or did you just study through the book straight?
No, so I took a modern real estate practice course with Georgia MLS Training Institute. There's two schools that I would recommend. It's Barney Fletcher and Georgia MLS Training Institute. They have some really great professors. I actually did my course online because I was working a full-time job, and I didn't have the opportunity to go sit in classes. And so I did the class online, and it was 75 credit hours. And then I took the final exam, studied for my state exam, passed that, got my license.
Wow. So, that's good. That's good.
So what do you feel like are some of the challenges that you faced and what was your motivation to keep pushing?
The challenges that I feel like I face is with real estate, you have to be self-motivated. Nobody's going to hand things to you, I like to eat good. Okay. So you got to basically hunt for your next meal, if that makes sense. You can't be lazy. You have to be a self-starter. And one of the things that I do appreciate about real estate, you're not capped. I know people who, don't have master's degrees, who don't have PhDs, who are making 200,000 to 250 and up with real estate. So I think, knowing that once you start, you got to hit the ground running. You got to be heavy on your marketing. And I think one of the things that I've learned is, in order for me to get the information, I have to seek it. I have to be diligent and, asking my broker questions and ensuring that I do have the knowledge base and not making simple mistakes, because real estate is a referral based business. And so if I help one person, they're going to refer other people to me. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, I understand. I like what you said. Like it was it's a referral based business. So it's just like you always have to put your best foot forward. Like if it was do you have any pointers for people that are just starting, you know what I'm saying? And what would be some practices that they would need to put into play in order to lead with their best foot and not just be shuffling people around or something like that?
So, the classes are not going to teach you how to sell real estate, basically, So I think getting books, reading podcasts about business, because I feel like I gleaned information from various entrepreneurs. Of course, prospecting, looking at your circle of 20, communicating with people that and just letting them know that, hey, I'm in the business of real estate. If you need my services, I'll be glad to assist you. And also making sure that your neighbors even know that you sell real estate, because I know I started off really nervous, in the beginning. And so I went to talk to my neighbor across the street, and I said, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I'm a real estate agent. He said, I wish you would have told me about 30 days ago because my son just bought a house. And also Brian Anderson, his mom, I didn't tell her that I was a real estate agent, and she ended up buying a house. And she's like, I wish you would have told me that you were in the business because I could have used you. So don't be afraid about putting yourself out there. I know social media is not for everybody, but sometimes you got to get outside of your comfort zone to put yourself out there, to market yourself, because real estate is all about marketing, and so don't be afraid to let people know what you're doing.
So I'll give you a chance to market yourself in a way. So what do you offer as a realtor in your experience, to a first-time buyer or a second, third-time buyer? Just what do you offer as a realtor to a prospective buyer or seller?
So first things first, I like to have a free consultation to understand what these buyers' needs are. What are they looking for? And so giving them an idea of what costs, they might have to come out of pocket for. So I think first things first is educating them about the market, really being a listening ear and advocating for them, like letting them know that you're here to support them along the way. And for me, I've been, in a service-based business for a long time, and providing elite customer service is one of my top priorities. And so I think like really like teaching these buyers that, okay, closing costs, sometimes, the sellers would cover your closing costs, but it is your responsibility to make sure that you have the funds just in case the seller doesn't provide that, like in life, nothing's free.
No.
You know what I mean? And so it's like the way that the market is right now, these sellers are not, covering your closing costs, and so you really like understanding, okay, I got to get some more money in the bank. If you're not ready to buy now, I'm going to still check on you and to see, like, how is it going with building your credit? What are you doing to make sure that you are budgeting frequently so that you can get to that goal that you desire?
Right.
So. Okay. And what is typically your real estate portfolio? Basically, what do you what have you typically worked with as far as type of property?
I've helped people who are in the $200,000 price range and up. For me specifically, in my personal portfolio, I own a duplex on the same street of where my high school is. So yeah, I have 2 tenants in there. And at first I was really nervous about home ownership because you don't know what you don't know, right? And so to be able to say, I make money in my sleep, like a lot of people can't say that. And so I want to say to the single people out there, because I'm 34 years old, single, don't wait for a husband to purchase property. Don't let that deter you from going after your dreams, because maybe God doesn't have the guy for you yet. So don't allow yourself to be crippled, because oftentimes you hear, single women saying, oh no, I'm waiting for my husband so that he can make sure that, things are together. No, what are you doing to make sure that you're putting yourself in the right place financially, so that, like you can build a legacy for your, your family. So
because it's okay to come, like, that's good, man. It's okay to come to the table with something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be like, oh man, we just got to wait till we get together and start building the table. Nah, you just go ahead and have something there. It's about bringing things together, not just waiting. Because if you wait, you letting opportunities pass. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about that. You just work. You know what I'm saying? Grind. Live your life. You know what I'm saying? Because your life has to be lived regardless. Your life don't start being lived when you get somebody. Your life is already, your life started the day you was born, so start living then.
Yep. And the thing, I think when that comes up with guys, I think that's a pride thing too. It's just like, oh well, if she has a house already and I come into this thing, I'm gonna have to move into her house. You know what I mean? And then some guys like raise a stink about that. It's dumb. Stupid.
And I get that, but at the same time, if you are in a partnership with somebody else and you're on that level where, the idea is we're going to build something together, then I think, first things first, communication. Being able to know that, yes, she has her things together. I might need to, in order for me to approach her, I might need to make sure that my stuff is together as well, So.
Yeah. Because the thing it is, that can't be like, I tell people a lot of times, like, you know what I'm saying? If your pride is the thing that halts you from things in life, you ain't ready for it anyway. Because I said pride will have you out of your own blessings. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing that is just like everybody, just like with women, men, just like I tell my sister and stuff all the time, man, go out there and get everything you gonna get, because you know what I'm saying, everything that's out there that's for you is for you. It ain't for you to wait on somebody else to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? That those days are gone. You know what I'm saying? It ain't depending on no man. You grown. You know what I'm saying? Go out there and get what's yours. And hopefully you'll find somebody that been out there getting what's theirs. You know what I'm saying? You bring it to the table. Like I tell people, like, yo, it ain't always about somebody bringing to the table everything is or being each and everything. A partnership is a partnership. You know what I'm saying? When you get together, you working together. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, I bought my stuff. I brought my stuff. Put it all on the table, see what we got, and let's fuse these two and make it bigger, because that's what it's about, making things bigger, growing exponentially. You know what I'm saying? It's not about saying, man, I got all this stuff, and look at that little stuff you got right there. Man, if you coming in like that, you coming in anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing that is, there's some powerful women out here. You know what I'm saying? Just like it's some powerful men out here. Women getting down, because it's like, hey man, they know that the name of the game is taking care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't waiting on you to take care of them, because you ain't out here really taking care of yourself, if I'm being real, because there's a lot of dudes on the slump side of the game, and women out here winning right now, for real.
Yeah. Thank you, Darius, for your wisdom there. But to transition a little bit, so I'm actually my next purchase is a house, and I mean, I'm sure the market is a little bit different up here than it is in Atlanta, or in Georgia rather, but there's a particular program that I recently went through, NACA. You sure probably heard the name. But I've heard mixed reviews about it. And I'm actually kind of seeking out like more programs that will kind of help first time home buyers. Do you work with any programs like that, or do you have like any recommendations that could, definitely, it's kind of like worldwide or national?
Of course, NACA is here as well. There is another one called ANDP that's here in Georgia, but I would recommend talking to lenders to see what kind of programs they have. There's this loan product called FHA, right? You can get a home as a first-time home buyer with 3.5% down. So that would be an ideal. And even if you wanted to get like an investment property, you can, stay on one, with the duplex, you stay on one side for about a year and then you rent the other. And so the other side is paying for your mortgage. That's something that you can, talk to the different lenders about. You can shop around to see what kind of loan products the lenders in your city offer as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I was trying to like look for more things, because I just don't want to like, oh, well, this is it. And, so I'm trying to like learn how to like educate myself in that, because that's like my next big purchase. And I definitely want to have an investment property as well, have them as Airbnbs, different things like that, not just in this area, but in different states. So I don't want to just be in this area. So I think it's definitely important to probably educate myself, because every state is different, especially with taxes.
Right. Specifically in the city of Atlanta, they do have this thing called Invest Atlanta. They provide first-time home buyers money as well. I had a friend who used them as well. So yeah.
Invest Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah, that's good information. You mentioned earlier that when it comes to covering like closing costs and other advantages that buyers may have had in the past probably aren't as present in this market. But why is it still a good time to buy a house?
The reason why it's a good time to buy, because right now interest rates are at an all-time low. So the reason why it's a heavy seller's market right now, there's not a lot of houses. A lot of people are taking advantage of the low interest rates. And so a lot of people who waited last year, they're realizing that, prices have gone up. Even with the builders, the cost of lumber has gone up. Last year, I think the city of Atlanta, the median sales price was like in the $300,000 price range. Right now it's in the $400,000 price range. So, waiting will cost you more money. That's why it's important to, make sure that your financials are in order. Maybe not go out to Starbucks every day. You know what I mean? If you can't, maybe, telling yourself no. Delayed gratification is something that, I believe in as well. Tell yourself no for right now so that you can eventually get to what, where you want to get to. So, yeah.
Right. Because I'm in a position personally. We have what we plan to be our investment property now, and we're living there now. And so it's kind of like the next step is like, okay, maybe getting this up to a standard to where we feel comfortable renting it 100%, like and then we move on to our house, our dream home or whatever. So we're kind of in a different place with that and what the way the market is. Like I think it was mentioned by Mela and Darius, we don't want to just settle for a house. You know what I mean? Like, oh, just have a house to have a house. You know what I mean? So that's just where we're at right now. So we're actually kind of in a fixer-upper right now. So
that's good. I mean, you have goals, right? You and your wife have goals. And so just making sure that you're checking in with one another and getting the house to the level that you desire. And, a lot of people, have done Airbnb because traditional rentals, they don't provide a huge return on your investment. So my next project is to purchase a house where I can turn it into an Airbnb so that I can see a little bit more of a cash flow. So, that's an idea as well, Steve.
Yeah, definitely. Just with tenants compared to vacationers or people who just rent your house for a weekend, I could see the benefit there.
Or you can invent something and call it trap B&B. Like you can rent a bando out, but it's a nice upscale bando. You know what I'm saying? For the one that's on the rise.
You're giving away $1 million ideas, Darius.
Hey man, I'm just saying. I'm full of. I'm sorry. I forgot what I was going to say for real.
That's terrible. Well, going back to the new home buyers, what are some of the things that you feel like they need to have in order before they even start the process? Or is there anything they need to have in order for them outside of just finances? Because that's pretty much self-explanatory. But is there anything else you need to consider?
First things first is to sit down with a lender to see what your numbers look like. You don't want to work backwards. Let's say, for instance, you're looking at a house, it's in the $300,000 to $400,000 price range, but you don't qualify for anything in that range. You qualify for $250,000. A lot of people will get heartbroken. You know what I mean?
So I think Property Brothers.
So first things first. Sit down with a lender and they'll go through your credit score, your debt to income ratio. They'll look at, any debts that you might have that may prevent you from progressing. And so I think, overall, having the pre-approval letter is the best thing for you to do as a first-time home buyer so that you can shop around the price point that you qualify for. So, yeah.
So sitting with a lender is like pregame. You know what I'm saying? Like it allow you to see the game for what it is or what you are settled currently in. Like you might think you're shooting at a 99, but you're shooting at a 75.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of allowed. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because then you're looking for houses. And you're like, oh, this is nice, and then you go to the lender, and it's like, well, actually, you don't really. Let's scale it back a little bit.
Let's go down to Clayco.
That's a terrible.
Let's go down to Clayco. You up in the North Alpharetta Fools, and let me slide you down to Clayco.
I can't.
But nah, because man, I ain't know that. That's good.
No, that's good advice. It's good to know.
Because I was just gonna go out there and be like, look here, I want this house.
Mm-hmm. And some people get offended by that, and it's nothing against anybody, right? Yeah. We want to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward,
right?
Because I've had some people who decided not to work with me because of not having the pre-approval letter, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence to get you where you want to be.
Right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly. Doing your job. Why they get mad at you for doing what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, you know people.
So another kind of mailbag question here. Oh no, you answered it. Like, what other tools besides a pre-approval letter would you say is essential to a search that people probably don't talk about?
Making sure that you have closing costs, making sure that you have the down payment. Like having that together. What else I could say?
Right.
Making sure that you have an educated realtor that knows the market trends. That's important because if you have somebody that's green that doesn't know what's going on, they can cost you a lot of money. And so you don't want to be house poor, and so you want somebody that's going to advocate for you, that's going to make sure that you're in the best financial situation for your family.
Okay,
that makes sense. Yeah,
I'd say a lot of people watch a lot of HGTV and all that stuff, but how real is kind of working a price like comps and list price and stuff like that? Like, how flexible is that really? Like, we see like a flip or flop or somebody weighing the price out or something like that. Like, but how real is that?
Right now, the way that the market is, sometimes people are creating what they want to net. You know what I mean? True. So it's kind of like you got to consider if you're buying the market in Georgia is ridiculous. Okay, people are paying $20,000 to $30,000 over asking because they want to get into a house. And so one of the things that you gotta, like, I try to educate my buyers is, okay, if this house doesn't appraise, what are you gonna do? Are you going to pay the difference, or are you going to move on? So a lot of times people, they're selling their house as well. And so they're making a portion to be able to cover that. But realistically, yes, comps are there, to help and guide us. But at the same time, that the way that the market is, you got to make sure that, the house will appraise.
Sound like I'm going to be living in Sugar Hill.
I was about to say I'm going to move to Chattanooga or something.
Yeah, bro, hey man, I might be in Sugar Hill for real, because I be telling people like, hey man, hey, for what? Yeah, she ain't lying, because I've been talking to some people. I was just like, boy, you pay how much over? Good God Almighty.
Yeah,
I had a client the top of this year. He paid, I think, how much was it? The house was listed for like $410,000, and he ended up putting $10,000 over the asking price. And during the our negotiating process and my strategy with guiding him, the inspection was done. We got back to the drawing board. We negotiated with the other party and lowered the price to $406. And so once we did that, the appraisal was done. The house ended up appraising for $420,000. So he was able to walk away with, I think, $14,000 of equity. So you just have to have, a realtor that knows what they're doing to be able to put you in the right direction. So,
for sure.
And how far?
What's your coverage map?
I don't go like an alpharetta per se, but if it's somebody that I care about, then I'll go over there. But I specifically work in the Metro Atlanta area.
Because I was about to ask a similar question, like, like how far out do you feel like because you covered Georgia per se, so like there's Metro Atlanta, but then there's cities outside of Metro Atlanta like Athens or Conyers or something like that. Like how far do you think this effect goes out to where people will like travel far from Atlanta to kind of get a better price, or is it too late? Is Athens is it now? Conyers is it now for like
even Conyers is up there.
Yeah,
everywhere. Even neighboring cities. Like North Carolina is dealing with the same situation.
Yep.
California is dealing with the same thing, and so you just got to make sure that you're cash ready. So for the most part, because cash is king, especially in this market.
So I hear people say that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because even like a podcast I listen to, they were saying cash is king. So cash is king on the side of coming with the check, or just having money on hand and ready to be locked.
Just having money on hand, and because the thing is, what has happened is a lot of investors, they wait for the market to get the way that it is. So if you have right now, it's cash up top, and then you have conventional loan will get accepted. This is when it comes to offers being accepted. Cash, conventional loan, you have FHA, conventional loan, VA, and then you have FHA. So right now, a lot of FHA buyers, they're getting fatigued because they'll put offers on homes, and FHA offers are not being accepted because there's this thing called a mandatory clause that basically says that if FHA requires certain repairs to be done, then it has to be done. So and then a lot of these investors, they're not requesting a lot of, because they're trying to flip things.
Move on.
I've been seeing a couple of them joints pop up, and they were like, "Nah, man, I just out here to buy the house." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna flip this thing right back and make it back again. I was like, "So you just bought the house to?" All right, hey man, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. But
yeah, man, we learned a lot here, man.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a lot of good information right there. So, what's the difference between a conventional loan and the FHA loan? If you don't mind me asking, if I ain't dipping too hard into your business side of the game, if there's something I have to ask off site, I'm okay with that.
So, FHA loan, they require a lower credit score, and you can get a home for 3.5% down. And then conventional loan, they have a higher credit score requirement. So it could be between like 620 to 640. A sweet spot for a conventional loan would be 680, whereas FHA is like 580. So that's a difference.
Oh, I'm on the conventional side of the game. I'm all right there.
Oh my gosh. So speaking of, because we were talking about different states and just how these rates are rising, thinking about it from just buying investment properties. So two things. So one, if you were ever to relocate, what would that look like for you as a realtor? Would you have to recertify, or would you be able to carry over those skills? I mean, of course you would be able to carry over the skills, but like, would that license pretty much carry over to the next state? And then how does that affect you when buying, like if you're in another state, but you want to buy an investment property in a completely different state?
So the word is like reciprocity. I think New York has reciprocity, but if you're trying to go to another state, I think California, you have to you got to take the test over. I mean, as long as you have like your finances in order, you can buy anywhere, but then you got to think about, the taxes and stuff like that, what that looks like. So yeah, depending on what, you're looking for. I mean, I know people who, like, I had an investor from UK who one of my clients purchased from the top of this year as well. So yeah, it just depends what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you mind giving me one moment?
No.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. Well,
yeah. Well, we still here, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
very educational.
It's good. It's helping me a lot because I'm excited about this investment property.
Hey man,
have that residual income, sleeping and making money.
Hey, y'all be on the lookout, all you felonious people. Trap BNB is coming. You know what I'm saying?
Trap BNB. Well, definitely. I'm just at a point where I'm trying to decide: do I want to get financing to fix up the house that I'm in now, or more so my next house and then fix this up over time? That is my conundrum right now. And the property values are going up because of how the market is.
Yeah.
So property values is going up. Because your value will go up, I guess, according to how you would, fix up your house and stuff like that. So
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And
bring it back in.
Thank you for your patience. The conversation has been going great, and I thought I had enough battery life.
Hey, it happens to the best of us.
Right.
So yes, Marie Ange Charlestin, Realtor, Circle R, trademark. Thank you for joining the conversation. And I might say that your early content creation days really helped us out. I remember going to you for some tips, me and Darius.
Yeah.
And, it really grew this platform. So we're excited to finally link up like this. And, now that you're in the building stage as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Thank you all for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you were able to get some light on the realtor side of the game, real estate side of the game, because it's not a lot of people out here giving a lot of good, solid information on things. It just kind of say all you got to do is. My philosophy is always when people start telling you something, all they say is all you got to do is they lying to you the rest of the time.
And I want to say something for anybody who's looking to get into real estate. One of the things that I like about it is you're not capped. You know what I mean? Like you can make whatever you want, and so don't allow fear to prevent you from getting to the next step. And then ensuring that the people that you have around you are motivating you, people who are striving to better themselves in every aspect of their lives, because the thing is, if I didn't have my sister as my mentor and the one that challenged me and pushed me to get to where I am now, I wouldn't have known. Right. So it's very important to surround yourself with people who are like-minded, who are business-minded, and just continue to push forward, and just be excellent.
Yeah. Are you mentoring anybody right now?
I do have one person that I'm mentoring, but if anybody is interested, I wouldn't mind, giving them the free game, because I know that, when I started, a lot of things I had to research, and then of course I have my sister that I can glean information for, and I don't want to overuse her, right? But I don't mind giving the information that I do have, because real estate has changed my life for the better. Had I known what I know now in my 30s, I would have bought several properties in my 20s. You know what I mean? Because it's just what's the point in me putting all this money to make my landlord rich, when I can be a landlord. You understand what I'm saying? Not to knock, people's financial situations are different, and so if you have to rent, you got to do what you got to do, but set yourself up to make sure that you're building your real estate portfolio. A lot of these major business people, have dived into real estate. That's how they were able to make a name for themselves, So
Oh,
absolutely.
All right. So around this time, we get into our final thoughts. So just a shout out or a quick thought from what we've discussed is what we do. So we're going to start with a special guest, Marie Ange.
My final thought, I guess some books that I would recommend is We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. Also, The 4 Agreements have like changed my life in a great way. And don't be afraid, okay? Fear is a false evidence of appearing real. So don't allow fear to cripple you. Just go out there and jump, you know, and do the best that you can with what God has provided you. You know, be excellent in everything. And the last thing too, one of the things that I do have is like a gratitude journal, like really being grateful for what, you know, God has provided me. And with social media, it's easy to get caught up in what other people are doing, but focus on your focus. Focus on your focus. Don't look to the left or to the right. Just it's a marathon, you know? And so just continue to put your put your best foot forward and keep running, you know? Not everybody has it all together. We're all trying to make it work. So those are my final thoughts.
That's good.
Some bars right
That's
there.
Really good.
You know what I'm saying? It's out there. Y'all need Mella. Final thought. Ain't seen in a long time. What's your final thought?
I can't. To echo what Marie Ange was just saying, because I feel like I've been in a space where I've allowed fear to stifle me, to hinder me from doing what, you know, I know that God has designed me to do. And so lately I've been initiative in like finding different creative podcasts to kind of reignite my creativity, you know, trying to find in-person meetups to, you know, meet new people and stuff like that, because I think I was getting into a funk, because when you're in a new area, right, it's kind of intimidating. You don't really know, like for me being in Atlanta, like I feel like I ran into creative people all the time, you know, but then that was because I stepped out and I was initiative and I went to spaces and I connected with people, and, you know, I was in college with these certain people too. So it's like, it was kind of easier because of the accessibility. But when you're in a space in an area where you just like, well, I don't know where anything is, and you start making excuses. Well, I don't know where anything is, so then I'm not going to do nothing. So recently I just decided to kind of step outside of my comfort zone, and I started listening to this creative podcast, and I was on my way home last night, and I was listening to it, and they were just talking about like how the market has changed a lot in every industry. You know, when you think about the music industry, you used to have your A&Rs, right? Your AR people, they're going out looking for talent and stuff like that. But when social media start popping and people start getting discovered on YouTube and Instagram now and all these different things, it's like it's less work on the AR. The AR doesn't have to go out and scout talent anymore because the talent is there. The talent pool is there. And now it's a matter of just them choosing. And one of the points that he made from that was like, people aren't being discovered because they haven't discovered themselves. And I was like, you know what? That is so true. It's like people are waiting for these opportunities to kind of pop up or to kind of fall in their lap or to kind of just, you know, like that overnight success mentality. Like, I'm going to do this one thing and then I'm going to be this overnight success. And when that doesn't happen, then I'm losing all my motivation, or this is not going to work. You stop believing in yourself, et cetera, et cetera. So this kind of echo, you know, what Marie Ange was just sharing, is that like, choose yourself, discover yourself, the things that you have been called to do, that has been envisioned on your heart and your mind. Like, there's a specific group of people that's waiting for it. So, and I think the other thing too is just like, because I feel like I do things, because there's a lot of real estate agents out there, but you have a market that you cater to. And like you said, it's a referral market. So it's like the people that you service, like you're always going to have clientele. Right. So it's like, for me, it's like, I have to believe that too. There's a lot of people doing it out there, but then does everybody have the same customer service that I have? Does everybody have the same turnaround time, et cetera, et cetera? But also not so much focus on the impact, more so than just doing it. because I think I take control of too much of the process, and it's like God is just saying, be obedient and do it, and then you believe in yourself, motivate yourself, put yourself in spaces to continue that constant motivation. Put yourself around people that's doing the same things or even more. That you aspire to be to. So I think that's kind of where I'm shifting. It's like, well, if I want to be in these spaces, let me engage with these people to continue to reignite my creativity so that I don't lay dormant or, allow fear to creep in again and just kind of shut down completely. So, so discover it, and the only way to get discovered, I feel like now, is just discovering yourself, put that content out there. If it's bad at first, it's okay. You're going to get better, so, but you got to start somewhere, just like this podcast, you guys recorded a whole episode that wasn't recorded. You had to start all over again, but you kept pushing. You kept pushing. I became a guest, now co-host, and I feel like we've made a huge impact. Since then, we've had so many people on this podcast that range the different industries. So it's, you don't know until you start doing. You don't know what you don't know.
That's facts.
Right.
That's facts. Man.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Stephen Neal.
Well, I think I'm also going to echo that and just apply it to my own situation where I do kind of fall into a trap of instant gratification. Like I'll take a step and I'm so into that step and I fixate on that step. And then, I experience early success and then, but then there's more to it, you know what I mean? And I kind of get discouraged, but I think that's a constant battle with creative people, with industrious people. And I think I just have to more acknowledge that it is parcel of the deal, Um, so, and just to the point of, okay, well, there's a million of podcasters out there, literally millions, or millions of graphic designers, or anything else that I do, and and I have a business, you know, I do logos, I do flyers, I'm trying to break into voiceover too. Um, I draw, I do so, and I've contributed to the look of some other podcasts. It's been exciting to do that. And what I offer is that, you know, something I do, you're not going to find on Fiverr. It's going to be done by me. You know what I mean? We get to work with each other to create a look for your podcast, for your cover art. You're not going to get that just, going on some site and just getting some cookie cutter for yourself. You might be able to, work it, but, you know, something truly creative. I'm confident that I can offer that. So, and sometimes you get down on yourself, of course, and be like, oh man, it can be intimidating, of course, to offer yourself out like that in any industry. So I'm just agreeing with y'all, um, and I'm excited about this podcast. Like Kev on stage always says, like, just give yourself 100 times. Like, do 100 episodes, see how good you get. We're fairly close.
Yeah.
There's like 66 plus a few episodes. So like a few half episodes or whatever. So we're pretty close to 100 recordings. You know what I mean? We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what it looks like. So, so that's my final thoughts. And what is your final thought, Darius J?
My final thought is, well, I get that. Read in the direction that you want to go in. I think oftentimes people fail to realize what a true gift being able to read is. It's a lot of books that I've read that has encouraged me in this past couple months, actually, like 3 or 4 months. You know what I'm saying? So many, you know what I'm saying? And I like to recommend a book, Steve, to you, that It's the 75 hard book. Since you finna try this program, I would encourage you to read that book. It will motivate you in all the ways in which you're speaking on that you feel like you know what I'm saying, have to deal with, for just like the instant gratification. I feel like it will give you the proper tools and stuff to really get everything out of the program that you want to get out of it. But also, Think and Grow Rich. You know what I'm saying? That book is a real old book, you know what I'm saying? But it has some real strong mind mapping, you know what I'm saying? It allows you to think bigger, you know what I'm saying? And it reminds you to be focused, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of things that I've been listening to been all about being focused, being diligent, and not letting up. All right, you got a victory, celebrate that victory, but no, it's still the mountaintop that you're trying to get to. Yes, you climbed 1,000 feet. That's good, but it's still 10, 15 more thousand feet to go. The gratification you feel is just to be grateful and actually be grateful for the opportunity. That's the thing that I've been learning, is be grateful for the opportunity, the things that you get to do. Be grateful for the opportunity that you get to work hard. Be thankful for the opportunity that you're in a space in order to be able to create. Be thankful for everything that you have been given, because even though some of the lessons are hard, it's still a blessing because it got you further than you were yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Even when you fall, be able to live, because it's like I tell people, the life I have now, I didn't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come from a very small town. I never thought of flying out of the country. I never thought about going places to eat different places, being culturally, you know what I'm saying, broadened. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that I have now, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's like, if you ever listen to me and my brother talk, people would think we insane because some of the things y'all talk about. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have that Rolls Royce Wraith. That's one of my goals. That's one of the things I want to purchase in life. You know what I'm saying? Along with the house that I want, and you know what I'm saying, and having a private jet, all that stuff. Because I feel like we gonna be bigger than what we think we are. You know what I'm saying? And just like, if you don't dream big enough to scare yourself, you ain't dreaming big. You know what I'm saying? You actually settling. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I don't feel like this form that I'm in right now ain't my final form. And just don't get comfortable with being comfortable. Don't just sit somewhere and get in a place where you like, man, life is good. Everything is going good. I don't want to leave this spot, so I'm going to just hunker down. Nah, because that's how things fall to the wayside. That's how you lose your footing. That's how you lose everything that you actually worked for, because you just want to hold on tight to it. Things are not meant to be held on to. It's been meant to let go and continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? You don't just plant a seed and just grow one seed. You cast thousands of seeds, and all of them will grow over time. And yes, it's work to harvest them, but that's what you're planting them for the harvest. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't doing things that are hard and you think life is hard, that's what success is. Success is hard. It's not easy. It look good because, you know what I'm saying, you get to look at the glitz, the glam, the house and all that stuff, the multiple streams of income and all that stuff, like, but you don't know how hard them people had to work. You know what I'm saying? People be talking about the amount of time they have to put in their life, but if you ain't willing to put that time in, don't look at that success like you gonna have it, because that ain't yours. That's for the people that gonna work hard. You know what I'm saying? And that percentage is small. You know what I'm saying? That's percentage is 1%, you know what I'm saying, to 10%, but most on the 5% side of the game. So if you want to be a part of that, start putting your plans out there, writing them down, making them clear, and going after them ferociously. Not just be okay. It's okay with being ordinary. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm trying to be extraordinary.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Great final thoughts. And that is the end of this latest episode of Convrs8. It will be available on podcast soon as we edit the audio and such.
Yeah.
But it will be on Facebook and YouTube immediately. So check that out if you missed us in action. Dial us up in your, office grind, or, listen to us while you work out. Once it becomes available on podcast, check us out. Check out our back episodes. Like I said, we have over 60 back episodes. We go back pretty far. Marie Ange knows. She was advising us, through our early content and how to put ourselves out there. So
yeah.
So this has been Convrs8.
We talked about it.
We everywhere.
We did that.
You know what I'm saying?
And
so come listen to us. You know what I'm saying? Share us with your mama, your grandmama, your sisters, and your cousins.
All love.
It's Convrs8. We out of here. We talked about it. How your mama live.
We're about to end the live.